Well, today is Monday. Yesterday was swimming in paint, so I didn't paint on this yesterday. I didn't do any demo or anything at swimming in paint either, so anyways, this is the concept. That's the setting, and I've shifted a bit and really debating whether to warm up the sky, although I like the sky, so I'm not sure I will. But anyways, I just thought I'd do a comparison to it. This is much warmer, especially down through here and around there. And kind of like, I really do, I always have like that. Anyways, I just thought I'd do a quick comparison. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to get done on this today, but I'll get a little bit. The first two sessions are uploaded, and they're not all that long. But we have the horses still visible. This is pretty dry. That's a little tacky. This stuff down here, however, is very wet, which is good. I can move into it and out of it. So I didn't waste anything there. And I started to add red into these areas. This here tree has a slight cast of red. I'll give it more, maybe. And I typically like my sun to bleed from there all the way down, and that's what the other does. Pretty much, you see that bleeds all the way through down into there, and then down there, and it kind of shoots up. A little more conservative than normal for me, because I used to do that pretty dramatically. So this is more maybe, that first 5-10 minutes of the sun rising, and generally speaking, anything behind you in this particular situation is bright red, including yourself. I've painted plein air a couple of times. You look down and you just glow. If I were wearing this top here, it would be bright as the sun. So there's a backlight on the opposite side of these trees. It's bright red, and I mean bright. And then it shows up underneath the fog line. I'm not sure I could pull that off. It's pretty hard. Anyways, I thought I would do a little test, make sure everything was running right, and perhaps get to it. As it turned out, my appointment is not until 1 o'clock, so I also moved the palette over. I didn't really check the thing and the effect it's going to have. I might stick closer to the reference on this and retone this and brighten it up from there to up, or start brightening it up here and then decide where to stop. That might be an easy thing for me to do, so that's kind of what I'm going to do. And what I think I'll do is I'll use alizarin crimson, wand brilliant, and some white, I guess, some rose. I'm not really sure what the color will be that's going to start to make this move a little differently. Nice thing is I can take this off if I don't like it. A little bit of medium. This this will be the time to do it in any event. So I just added a little lavender to it so I get closer to where I was. It's a little brighter, cleaner. So let's go back again. It's always hard to get started in a way in the morning. I think I'm going to take alizarin orange into this deal and see what I can get. Yeah, I don't want it to be brown. I don't want it to be brown, and right now it's kind of gotten on the brown side. However, that is the move off of there. I hope I'm not doing wrong here. I'll break it up with one of these wet ones and see what happens. This might be a bad idea, but you never can tell about this stuff. I've got some nice stuff. Yes, that may be all right. Just broke it up. So I might like that. And get a little more blended there. Okay. So, I do like it when it hits there. Makes the sun vibrate just a bit. That's not a bad thing. And then it starts to go back into lavenders. And so maybe I'll just add a lot of lavender to that and some medium and see where that kind of goes. A little more of the red. Actually, it's Persian rose. Kind of take that into that and see what happens. This will reduce the key down. And sometimes that needs to get done. Because I do want to do that. There's something that I want to do here that I did in this. The reference you can see over here, I put the painting up on the iPad because I really haven't been really following that particularly. And if I'm going to make this move, now's the time. And then I've got it over here. And as it goes up, it moves more pink. Just add white to that. And run that in. Yeah, like that. See? That kind of sets me up. It starts to blend into some of the stuff I've already done. And I just move the color over a bit to accommodate it. And okay. A little bit of movement there. So I'm not really losing what's underneath unless I really want to, but I'm not. Taking a fairly light hand on this. And anything I don't like at 30 feet, I'll just fix. But I like that better now. So I think that was a good move. And I think I'm just carry this on over a bit. I need to start wetting it up so I can bring another color in there if I choose to. Now, take a little bit of the alizarin orange and put it in there so it'll convert it a little warmer. So I'm going to go up into this. And goodbye, that, I guess. red. That's alizarin crimson. And I'm going to put some more of the alizarin orange into this and convert it to a little bit more yellow, since I'm going to go so high on this. I really did like this. But now I have to move it into, I guess, some lavender. All right. And that intensified that. All right. Let's start converting. I don't want to go green on this. With this yellow in here, and you start converting, putting any blues in there, that has a tendency to start going green, and I don't particularly want green in this at any noticeable. So I'm going to take lavender and pull that and see what happens. See if I can take lavender as a transition color like that, that will move me into some of this other stuff. That's kind of working. And I'm just going to come over and match into that and pull in there, and a little bit of that there. And I think I like that too. So all in all, it's probably a good move to do what I'm doing, because I really do want that early morning mood. And I want that sun to pop, period. That's not even an option. So, all right. And largely what I'm doing now is I'm just taking the, let's bring this over here. Start converting this slowly to that color. And that's ultramarine blue French, because it's got a lot of warm violets in it. See, so that's a nice thing. Now I'm just going to take out the blue a little bit and start moving it into this and see what that does, so I don't lose too much of my upper. I can just kind of squeeze that up in there a little bit like that. And come in right through here. Like that. And I can just make more of that, I guess. And I just put a little pink in it to pull it back up to where I was a second ago and start to move right up into there. So that was a nice, the first two sessions gives you a different take on this, which is a valid one. Very valid, in fact. And this just gives you a variation on that I'm more interested in getting in this particular painting. So I reduced the key dramatically by simply doing that. Just want to knock that down a bit because it's coming through, and I just take a little bit of the other color that I was using before and just get in there and get it. There we go. The trees I haven't gone too far on, so in fact trees might work better when this is done. make some more of that color. A little bit of, I kind of moved, as I'm getting closer to the sun, I'm kind of moving from the lavender. And see it's got a little more, it's a warmer. Now I can take some of this color that I was using and drop it into it. See, so I'm just carrying that warm color up right to there. And come across. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I may darken this over here a bit more, but I don't know. Don't worry about that right now. I'm going to come over this way. Hopefully stay out of the, and this is not a glaze, by the way, this is paint. Yeah, okay. And I'm going to come in with this, up into this a bit more. Just going to keep raising up like that and take it into that. See, it's hitting the bottom sides of any air that's in there, so that's kind of nice. Now, like that, I'll lighten it up, fool with it a bit more when I get into it more so, but so it's a quick fix. I wasn't sure I was going to do this, but glad I did. Because this is more the intent that I had for this painting. Just had a reference here that had a little bit of this, had this in it, and I kind of went with it, but now I'm glad I didn't. But it did show you some options. Go like this. This could be a sunset too, I think, maybe. Okay, I'll make a little more of that. And I'll break the clip. And it saw me paint yesterday. It was actually a lot of fun. I kind of helped other people along with other things that they were doing. And so I never got a chance to paint. Can't say I was really in the mood. Sometimes you're just not. Although I can turn it on, turn it off if I need to, but that comes from when I was a designer. You worked whether you felt like it or not. Because you had deadlines and things to clients and all that kind of stuff. Add a little of that. Oops, stay away from that. And more rows. I can put Juan Brilliant into this too, and I can warm it up. A little more of that. Now let's just see what I got here. Yeah, that's a bit light. That's a nice shade. Mix it right on. And all of that stuff that I did kind of works within this pretty nice. So I haven't really lost anything when it comes to merging the trees in. And I could come into pink in this area. So I'm going to emphasize the pink a bit. A warm pink, a warm rose. See up and through there, that just softened it down more. And there goes the blue. Very nice. So I like that. So the second, I guess you could call it a second coat. Now I've got it all wet. There's kind of cool stuff I can do. Let's see if I've got enough. Nope. Now I'm going to go ahead and get a little more pink, or rose. So it's Persian rose. And if you can hear the music in the background, it's got a little calypso and stuff like that, and that's from that's YouTube music. My solution for the copyright thing, and I think it worked. And it has enough movement for me to do something. I like music, so. Because I like to paint within, see, I'm painting with the music. My movement is going with it. And I want to come up and add that layer of soft rose up there, or pink. And it comes up and it just really works nice against the blue that I put in previously. So it's kind of what I would call an overlay, soft overlay really. And it creates a glow that goes out. And now I'll get it focused here a bit. And I'll take a little of it up there. So here's, I'm going to let it go kind of cool. Like that up through there. So I've kind of spread the wealth out. Got a little problem right there, I think. But let's see. I don't like that. Take that, the blue, or rose. This might be a little darker. Oh, well, it works so. But I don't want to do that. I want it to be light. So let's just see what we got. All right, so take that out. And add another layer of mood on this. All right. Generally, when you get back a bit on these things, you'll see stuff that you can't see close up. And sometimes it's very cool. And you go back and you see it, and you come back and you work on it. There we go. A little bit of that. All right. We'll break this clip so it doesn't get too long. The skylight is causing all kinds of problems when I walk closer to the canvas and back off of it. However, from a distance, I really like what happens. This is a nice glow to it, way back there. So that's a keeper. Whether I'll go any further with it or not, I don't know. And it's got paint that I can put on there. I don't know what color it is. I scooped all that stuff up. Let's see. All right, that helped. Just a little bit that way. And a little bit that way. I don't want it to look like it's a overpaint or anything. Oops, that's not a good one. So I'll take this and adjust that down. Yep. More. That. Yeah, there you go. That's better. So, I think maybe I'm gonna, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Nuts. There we go, back again. And a little bit there. Got a little more rose to it. Now I've got some little openings in my trees that I just want to make sure carry through. And they don't look out of place in any way, shape, or form. like right there. I'll make them bigger if I have to. Then I can reduce them when I come in. And I guess that's light it up with that same color, so. And, well, that's not what I expected. Yeah. Maybe just better to go this way. There we go. Just use a rag. All right. Not exactly sure. Where to go with some of this. You just kind of play it by ear. And hope for the best. Right in that area there. I kind of like that. And it was done a little dry, so let's just break it up a bit. And whoops. All kinds of crap in there, so I'm like, yeah, see. Fell into the pallet. I've moved it over and pulled it up, and I think I've improved it a bit. At least I hope so. And I'm just going to kind of come through there a little bit, ever so carefully. Just tone it in. A little bit right there. Let's see. Now I'll do an upward deal. Pull the light up. And take this and just kind of smudge it a bit. I don't want it too powerful at this point. It's not what I'm after. At all. Just want to. Well, good morning. This is the fourth session. I guess the third session was yesterday, and it's about 30 minutes long. And I had a lot of trouble with the skylight in the sun. I'd get near the canvas and it would change. It would go overexposed, so I may have to do something about that. Anyways, I darkened the sky, and may do a little more in it, I'm not sure, but all this is kind of dry now. So it's had a few days, more than a few days really, to dry. This is probably not. Anyways, I'm starting to build in the red and from the sun and the bleed. And from a distance it looks pretty good under light, diminished light. I've got to add some details and colors to this, make it more red, and then start to come down. This has to be cleaned up a bit, an overlay on it. And so I may get this part and do this and work on the trees, because I like to work top down as opposed to getting the whole thing blocked out, especially on a landscape. It's much easier. And I rather did this fast yesterday. I only had about 30 or 40 minutes at best to work. From this point on, things went south, all the way south. And I forgot to turn on the sound, or not the sound, but the camera for the palette. And there's a lot of conversation in this, so it was very difficult to edit it. So I sped it up, and the next 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5 of this thing, I just am going to run through and let you see it, and it picks up a few days later, more under control. Largely what I'm doing here is working on this tree and the other one to the left. I'm deepening it with alizarin crimson and ultramarine blue. When you're painting this particular moment in time for the sun, if you were to look at yourself or be able to look at yourself, you would be bright red. And that's true of anything behind you, including these trees. So the opposite side of these trees is very, very red. And it bleeds through all around the leaves and branches and trunks and all that kind of stuff. So that's basically what's happened here. It's kind of a quick move, and I like this particular move because I started to bring the fog through. And I'm breaking it up with the wet wood and things like that. So it has a nice effect. I don't know whether it stays or not, but I think a big part of it does. Okay. Well, back at a distance, it doesn't look bad. So I'm going to continue on with the trees as opposed to anything else, because I don't think I could screw those up. And so I'm going to take all of this paint I got going here. I probably should have done this before I put the film on. I got a nice sandalwood color. Not sure what that's going to get, but yeah. Let me bring this over so I can see it. And blow this up a bit. Okay. That's a good background color. It's almost matching the color right there. Well, that's not doing anything there. Okay, I'm going to flip this. And I don't know, let's see. I know I want it to be on the red side, so I'll just take green oxide and put a little red in it and see what happens. I just need to okay. It's up here that I really want to work a bit. I want to connect some things. So nothing looks like it's floating out and stuff like that. And let's see. What there really is here is a series of trees. Brush to do that with, I think. Okay, I think I will go dark. And for my darks. My darks are in this area. And they're part of tree trunks and stuff. So it's right there. And up through and around this and goes up, I think. And the sun came out. So very likely the gonna have some problems with some of the. So these are going to kind of be my branches. I don't know about that, but it's okay. Just break this up a bit. Kind of a natural feel out here if I can. And it's kind of picking up from something that's happening a little lower. And let's see, where else do we have some? A little punctuation like that come across into the light. Go down here a bit. And I think I'm going to go ahead and make some trees like this. And I'll fill them out a little later. And I'll use some of this color I've already got. And it's going to have some red in it because of this sun that's out here early this morning. Early in the morning, I'm going to take it down like this. And I'm just going to kind of lighten that up with some red. Like this. A little more. This is just alizarin and some level vermilion. I'm just going to come through this like this a bit. And let's see, I'll go up a bit and see what it does. Okay, well, what it does do, kind of comes out this way, breaks up a bit, kind of like this. There's a lot of stuff at the bottom here, so I'll just make that this red color that I've got tons of. Like that. And it's, so now I've got that tree base in there, sort of. And I'm going to take that red all the way up, with that warm tone in there. Now make some cross marks here to break up things that I've done already, so that it's getting distributed nicely. Come back in, and this is where and this is what it does. Very much so. So I'm kind of randomly hitting this through here. Now I'm taking really pretty pure color now, because I want it really kind of red. Just build this up with small, delicate kind of marks. Let a little of that kind of wing it through there. Just all the way up. Right up and through to there even. My guess is at 30 feet it's going to look pretty good. And I'm pull that out a bit like that. Come out here and just make some marks, punctuations. All right. So now come back in, take some of this, make a little pile. And let's see what I can do here with this. It needs to be darker. Now I got to put some really serious dark stuff in here, so that some of this will make sense. Down through here. Can't all be light and bright. Some of it has to be. I'm starting to kind of get the feel of, let's put some shadows in there. Ah, nuts. Fix that in a minute. So I was doing good there for a minute. And let's just take a little bit of this out. I'm just going to take this part out. Yeah, maybe I am. Well, I'll just come back to where it was. I'll just chunky up it a bit, like under here. I'll do the back side, make it heavier. A little bit of noise in there. And then it has to settle in here. So we'll take the rest of the green, throw it into all this. There's a shadow under these trees that I don't want to lose, so I'm just going to kind of get that in there now. And a little more of this. Comes up like that. And scraggly stuff. Like that. Create a little interest. Like that. So that's a little better. More believable anyway. And I think I'm just going to take straight blues in here. Which are fairly close to this. And I'm going to come across. And I think I'll take a little of this brown. Kind of use it up here a bit. Bring this over this way. Gather the rest of it up. To one pile. I think I'll add a little lavender in it. That'll give it a nice look about it here. It'll pay off a little later on, because whatever I do over that, depending on the color, will draw that lavender out that you won't necessarily completely see at this point. And I'm going to go over to this other tree. This is a real clever deal right through there. And there's a tree trunk right there. And this kind of goes up this way. And I made that. So let's see. And in front of that, it's going to be dark. So I'm just going to take stuff to make it dark. Through here, this is just going to be dark. It's in shadow going that way. So pick all of that. Now I'm adding the alizarin orange into the blue and the alizarin, and then taking the rest of the stuff. Alright, so my shadow is going to kind of go like that, and the water is going to come this way. This tree, and these will got to kind of have some kind of shadows in it. And then I'm going to take the remainder of this and stick it right maybe there. Just fill in that area. Exactly where that's going to go yet, but that's what I'm going to do. Now hopefully I'm not standing in front of the camera here when I did that. And if I did, I'm sorry. A friend of mine used to say whenever someone said that, how's the rest of your family? Well, in his case, he had 16 brothers and sisters. Good Catholics. Alright, well, I don't think that's going anywhere for me. But maybe I will highlight that a bit. Because it might be getting a reflection off of the water. That's a possibility. And